a flawed perspective
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
on race. You know, that is obviously very ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck does
Anyone
that
who
got to do
thinks
with
that
me?
way, that's retarded. I don't
Mm.
know. I mean, yeah, like it just came to my mind, like because you know, sometimes like I do hear those things where people have had like really bad, you know, really bad things that they've happened, or people that they've known have had happen by people that, you know, the brown, the black people, and it's like then they're just racist because that happened to them. It's like that's so ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, I've seen plenty of white people do, outrageous things.
Absolutely,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna. How come you're not racist? Oh, I said this to Dan because he's really anti-woman. He said, I've just never seen a white woman. No, he said he never seen a woman. It was about who should be. It's talking about leadership roles and how women should just probably not be in leadership roles. And I was saying, it's funny because your last boss, you never exhibit any bad traits to men, but your last you got accused of stealing by your boss who was also on meth. How is that not a failure of leadership from a man? And how come you don't harbor any indignation to somebody that's a man? Really?
Right.
You can see there's a massive leap in logic that happens there. I said that to him, and he was like, yeah, he considered it. I gave him pause because there is if you adopt a lens, you're going to find everything that justifies that lens. Oh yeah, okay. Of course, a black man did that. Of course they did this, that, this, A, B, C, D. Of course they did that. But okay, how about all the white people that are wronging you on the daily, especially when you're around them more? How come you're never saying anything about this? Always, every time. Yeah. Oh, women do all these bad behaviors. Okay, well, how about men? How about men doing all these things? Endless justifications on why men should actually be allowed to get away with this,
What?
that, and that. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh, why are men allowed to sleep around? Oh, because they need to get it out their
I need to
system.
ask my brother. No, because
The
I can
fuck?
guarantee you that this thing about how, you know, if you know, women go around, you know, the sluts, but it's alright for men to do it. I am so certain he'll agree with that.
Mm.
I am so certain he'll agree with that philosophy.
Oh
I
yeah.
need to bring that up.
Oh, you need to. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, go talk to your brother and say, I'm thinking,
It's
yeah,
no
because I'm a
justification.
virgin. If because I'm a virgin, I'm thinking, do you think body count for men matters? Should I have 10, 20 bodies? Just say something so crazy
Yeah.
like that. Should I have at least 20 bodies or something? Just go with something crazy like that and see what he says, and then flip the
Yeah.
script on him and just go, okay, well, okay, yeah, should I tell my girlfriend she should also have, whatever number of bodies, whatever number
Yeah,
of
that's a
bodies he
good
said.
idea.
Ah.
That's so good. That's really good. Yeah, like, and I should definitely do that because I feel like he's gonna struggle to justify it, and like whatever justification he gives is just gonna be flawed. There's no way he's gonna give me a real like because I feel like there is no real justification to that. It's just not because I don't know what I can imagine if people even coming up with, right? Because it's like, but if you think about it, it's like okay, well, a woman is having, you know, dick inside of her, but a man is like taking his own
If he
private
says a
parts
key,
and putting that into other people. Like, why is that?
nah, nah, nah. If he does like the key, where a key is valuable or whatever, because some guys do this. Where I don't know if you've seen the meme where it's a key that can open multiple locks is more valuable than a locks that can be opened up by a bunch of keys, right?
Uh huh.
And I go, what the fuck has our body got to do with keys and locks? We're not keys and locks, you fucking idiot. You need let's break the analogy apart because even in contending with such a stupid analogy, women aren't locks just because they have pussies.
Uh huh.
I wonder if there's a reverse analogy that I could make that shares the same anatomy but has the reverse conclusion. Because it just sucks that men have something that is akin to a key and women have something that's akin to a lock, even though we're not keys and locks, and this analogy doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, it's just if he says that, just go, what the fuck has that got to do with men and women? No, women aren't locks and we aren't keys. If you could think of an analogy
Even
that
then, even
works,
then,
that
it's
would be really
like
funny.
just because like let's just because you have like a woman that's a virgin and then you have a woman that's, you know, had like 20 bodies. It's like, why would you even let that define them as a person, anyways?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
If you
yeah,
think
but
about
that's
it,
but
just
that's what
because
they think about.
yeah, just because like someone likes to sleep around doesn't mean that they have no, that they don't have pride as like a person, or like
And
whatever.
no value,
They
yeah.
might just they might just enjoy having sex.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't mean they're fucking on the first date or whatever, whatever people look down upon that. It doesn't mean anything like that. They might just enjoy having sex. You know what I mean?
That's
They might
just
just
their
enjoy
thing, yeah.
casual sex with different partners. There's nothing.
It might be
Realistically,
poly,
nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly right. Yeah, they might, and it might be respectful. It's not. See, for a
Right.
woman, the big problem would be, a fuckboy, somebody that entices you with, a romantic relationship, but they're just, they've got
Just there
things
for
on the
sex.
side. Yeah, exactly. They're
Right.
not
I
trying
get
to
it.
move the relationship in a sort of realistic direction. That's a really big worry for women. And the fact that all
Yeah.
this body count
True.
bullshit. If you have a bunch of body counts, I know for a fact that there has to be something fraudulent going on, because I don't think anyone has. I just don't think most women are looking for somebody that's just running around being crazy.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't think that. I don't think. Yeah, women don't want a coquettish man. Nobody wants that. Promiscuous, lascivious, none of those words come to mind when they're thinking about men. They want, okay, I want somebody that's stable, that loves me for who I am, and isn't their gaze isn't following along with whatever tits or ass come in his vicinity. Nobody wants a woman like that, and I know that because I've been around older women, and that is a worry for them. The fact that you're gonna bang like the 20-year-old secretary that is at your work. That's a stereotype for a reason. Because older men, oh, okay, well, wife's getting old, she's not taking care of herself, letting her weight go a little bit loose. Okay, yeah, their eyes are now following whatever young bird they're spending a lot of time with. Feelings just
Yeah.
turn into cheating. That's bad. And of course, a woman is going to be worried about that. So, and who's more likely going to exhibit that behavior? Somebody that has no self control in the past? Really? Yeah, of course a body count matters for a woman. Of course, you don't want to get abandoned when you have a kid. You have to raise a kid, and now the majority of the income is gone because let's face it, men do earn more money. They do work more.
Yeah. I mean,
They work
that's
more
a good
hours.
point, right? That's another good
Mm-hmm.
point, because all the time, obviously, people are saying about about females having higher body counts, like worse than a man. But it's like, realistically, if you think about the worries that had come with trying to settle down with a woman with a high body count, those odds, the worries that you'd have as a woman, are going to be a lot higher than a man. 'Cause
100%.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's like,
Well,
I
less
find it hard to
income. You have
believe.
to look after the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I find it hard to believe that a man is going to impregnate a woman and the woman's going to run away with the child. That's just a lot less likely than it being the other way around. Because the man doesn't even that man doesn't have to take responsibility, but that woman has to carry that baby for 9 months in her belly, and then whatever, if she decides to keep the baby, of course.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's another.
That's a massive burden on you. The fact that now you have to take care of another life form with a lower income. What the fuck? That's insane.
Alone as well, because
Yeah.
raising a child is not easy. Even just raising them to, grow up to be like a respectable member of society. That's not an easy task, regardless if it's if you have two people raising that child or just one.
Right. No. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard as fuck task. So, it's yeah. It's crazy the tunnel vision that some people have on what that and I noticed that a lot of these people aren't they haven't be they haven't seen these families. They don't live with they don't have any responsibility over these families. It's not, if you have a family member that has to single parent, that you're gonna have some certain feelings for somebody running off. Of course, somebody that's promiscuous that just runs off, cheats, yeah, you're gonna have some feelings about that. But versus somebody that hasn't really experienced that and seen what that can do for a family, yeah, I can see you having outrageous opinions on, oh, okay, yeah, men can just go crazy. But also, I want to ask you a question, because he was encouraging you to go to a strip club or get a lap dance. I don't know if you were at a strip club while you were at a strip club.
No, we weren't. No.
Oh, okay.
Because he was talking about going down to the red light district and stuff, and like obviously when we were on this little, it was like going through the canal in a boat.
Right. Okay.
They had the strip or whatever.
Okay. Did you end up going to the red light district, or did anyone?
No, I didn't. I don't know about them because I actually got really fucked up, and I got like he sent me home because I just wasn't in a good state. I probably got really drunk, but I don't remember. So then he sent me home, but I don't think they even went.
Oh, okay. That's just mad to me because.
See, but the thing is, I felt really guilty, and I shouldn't have. I was just doing what I felt was right, what I wanted to do. But then I got upset, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry I let you down, but that was ridiculous.
No, what the fuck?
Like,
Yeah,
I didn't let
crazy.
anyone
I
down.
can't believe
He
you.
let me down. He let me down as an older brother, not respecting his younger brother's wishes and trying to force me into something that he wasn't ready for. He let me down. I didn't let him down.
Yeah,
but I just hear Freddy Krueger, but yeah.
Nah, that's Yamazaki.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's ridiculous.
That's what's insane to me that you haven't. I don't know if you've noticed it, but you definitely haven't said it. Is that this man's in a relationship with multiple kids, talking about red light districts and going to that. Well, I don't know if that's a joke. What?
No. Like he like spoke to his wife before, and she said that she like it was fine.
Okay, oh, that's respect. I respect that.
Yeah. Because I know, like, I'm actually quite positive he wouldn't cheat on
her. Okay.
To be honest, like, I don't think he'd do that.
That's respect.
But then, like, it's like, I want to know what I want to know why, because I remember, I don't think I told you this. I think I told Galactic. There was a thing where my dad's awake, right? There was some thing where, like...
Wait, your dad's awake? Oh, that's the, like... fake funeral or whatever.
Bullshit. Yeah. So basically, like, what happened was someone was like reading text on the phone, and like, you know, these two girls were really drunk, but someone was like texting this girl about feeling bad for like this other girl that was there with us, and she feeling bad for her because her boyfriend cheated on her, and she didn't know, but she was such a nice girl. The girl seen her phone, read the messages. And then I was talking to my brother, and I was like, man, that guy's a cunt. Like, I can't believe he did that. Like, he cheated on her. But I knew her. Like, she's really nice, and she's really helped me out. She's actually the reason I went to counseling. Because I met her at my brother's wedding, and it's one of his like really good friends that was their's girlfriend. And she said that like she lost her. It was like her cousin that was really close to her, like a little sister, or like something like that. They passed away, and they felt really, really depressed about it. So they went to therapy, and it really helped them out. So they were recommending it to me because I wasn't feeling good at that time. And she was really nice. She really helped me. And then obviously, she's there, and she's the one that's like getting the messages read out. So what happened was, you know, the girl found out whatever, and I'm telling my brother about it, and then he's like, yeah, well, you know, like, these things happen, like, it's just one of those things. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean it's one of those things? He cheated on me. He's a piece of shit. I said that he's a piece of shit person.
Nasty behavior, yeah.
Yeah, because I'll say right now, I love my girlfriend more than anything, but if she cheated on me, I would never speak to her ever again in my entire life. I never would.
Okay,
I always, like, had that for myself.
That's a little bit fun.
Maybe like if it's like some situational thing.
It's not about the situation, it's about the context, really. It's about the thought. I understand that somebody cheats on you, but also I think people take it a little bit too far, where this is sacrilege. I think a lot of it just comes from insecurity. I'm gonna be honest, like the insane craze over people giving a fuck about cheating. I think cheating is, you know, that's scum behavior. You don't betray. When you have rules in a relationship, you don't betray that, especially when you know your partner's gonna get irrationally upset about it. But here's the thing, right? I also think people are way too, like, the other side of it is that people need to, when people have insecurities about other things, they need to deal with it. But for some reason, cheating, they don't. Nah, I feel like people would have less of a reaction to, you know, and I notice this every time I watch Breaking Bad. There's always this scene that happens where people always say Skylar cheated on Walt. That never happened. It never happened because of how insecure people are about these things. That now, I think Skylar fucked up, but by the time she had sex with another man, she already was trying to kick Walt out the house and trying to get a divorce. That's not cheating.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a divorce. You kicked him out the house. You're allowed to do anything at that point. You've already said the relationship is over.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
If it's being established to walk, that's the
yes, exactly. Well, yeah, he's been kicked out and been sent divorce papers, right?
Yeah,
but
that's completely different. But like,
but he treats it as cheating. But no, hold on. But people say, oh, Skylar cheated. But no, I never hear any indignation towards Walt for making meth. For making meth behind the back of Skylar. That's just not seen as anything as bad. That's way fucking worse than somebody. Then let's just say she hypothetically did cheat. That's still way worse, but people feel more towards somebody else having sex with their partner than they do with somebody trying to fuck up their community by selling meth and then having it distributed.
Did she know that he was selling meth at this point?
That's why she kicked him out. She said, no, what the fuck, I'm giving you divorce papers.
It's even more acceptable that she did that. Like, but regardless, it's like, well, they're getting divorced anyway, so it doesn't even...
hypothetically, if she cheated, let's say it never happened and she just went behind Walt's back, people would treat that worse than him just going behind her back and selling meth. And having that a part of their family, now having potentially targets on their back. Nah, that's scumbag behavior, but people treat cheating as one of the worst things. I just don't think it is. I think it's really bad. I think it's disgusting behavior. And especially when you're doing it to your own partner, that's meant to be your number one person. And that's the person you want to at least fuck with. You want to be the most pernickety motherfucker. You be the most pedantic motherfucker about, not doing anything that even comes close to, sacrilege. The fact that you could do that, I think that is a person that probably you shouldn't be in a relationship with if you want a monogamous sort of relationship, of course, because there's somebody that clearly don't respect those boundaries. Clearly someone that can, go crazy. But also, I think, the giving a fuck about somebody, putting just from the male perspective, putting somebody else putting their dick in your partner, and that's some crazy sacrilege. I just don't think it is. I don't think anyone's going to convince me. I think that's so insecure.
That's fair, but like for me, it's like I really feel very strongly against that. And if I establish to my girlfriend how strongly I feel against that, and she goes against me, like she goes behind my back and does that shit, that's like the ultimate. That's too much of a betrayal for me.
What happens if she doesn't? What happens if she doesn't see it as that? Is it just your views, your values over hers? That's what I'm saying. And the fact that you don't have to hold on. Just because you have certain values, why should that supersede rationality? After a certain point, you get to have your own values, but also if you're just being super irrational about the severity of an action and treating it as worse than it really is, I think that there's something wrong with you. And just because society is not on the same page as you, that doesn't mean there's obviously, major insecurity going on in here. And just like low tier God, people saying, oh, you're 40 years old. People know that he doesn't like that, but people say it to him anyway. Oh, wow, they're just so nasty. Now, it's different if a partner says it to you, but I think after a certain point, if your partner says, nah, you need to stop lying about your age, this is fucking embarrassing. I don't care if you're insecure about that. No, at that point, I can't go, oh, you really fucked up you've really fucked with his feelings. And some people get really insecure about the weirdest things. And it really psychologically fucks with them when their partner brings that up. But again, why should they give a fuck that you don't think that they should say this? I don't give a fuck at that point. That it's bad that they said that they tried to humiliate you, but also at a certain point you need to work on your insecurities, because you being 40 LTG is really not the worst thing in the world, especially if you look like that. I'm just saying, sometimes there's like, I'm not on one side of the argument, but I think there needs to be some sort of meeting where it's not just this, oh, the cheater is just this worst piece of shit ever, when the person I got cheated on is just acting way too insecure for what the action really demands.
I understand what you're saying, but it's like I have established this with her. Like she said the same thing with me, where it's like
Right.
we're both like super against that, right?
Mm.
Obviously, if it's been established in the relationship and the other person's agreed with that, and if they still go out, but they do it anyways, then it's really fucked. I think that's a really fucked up thing to do. If she said to me, it's like, hey, like, let's say, for my example, let's say it's an example where she wants that and I'm not supplying it. If I refuse to supply that for her,
Yeah.
then it's a lot more understandable that she's done that to me, right? Than
Yeah, people don't.
we both
Most
agree on
people.
it.
Well, no. Why? No. Why? Nah. Let's go with the hypothetical that there is relationships are complicated. You know, let's just get to the point after various things happen that there's no supply from you happening, and she needs that, and now you're in an established relationship where you both share a bank account. Now you're both paying for the same house. Mortgage is shared, and that is a lot of uprooting for you to just abandon that relationship, for her to abandon that relationship. If she goes and gets some nice buttery peanut butter complexion LTG 40-year-old muscular doing some rock down back shot, right, and then you find out about that, what's happening? Never speaking to her again. Just remember, you have your life rooted down with her, sharing the same bank account, mortgage. You're both paying for a mortgage.
I'd have to have a genuine sit-down conversation with her and be like, okay, well, like really like lay the things out on the table and like understand like why they did that,
Right.
And if it's
well, you know why they did that. I told you why.
Oh, right, you're talking about a hypothetical where
My
I'm not saying those
hypothetical.
things.
Yeah, right.
Right, I see.
And she's upset and she doesn't want to uproot her life.
I mean, for me, it's like I understand. Like, I won't be ignorant. Like, I understand how big of a deal that is to most people in relationships, right? And
Right.
at that point, because I understand how serious of a thing it is in the relationship, if I'm at a point where I know I can't supply it, but she is like desperately in need of this thing, something
Right.
needs to change. I need to make a change, regardless, whether it's me.
Yeah, but
doing
what happens
that
if it's
thing
already
or
happened?
Me accepting that they did.
What happens if it's already happened? They already went behind your back and got some buttery skinned LTG rog out session. What are you saying to her? Never speaking to her again, break up. What's happening? What's changing from here?
Wait, I don't. What do you mean?
She's cheated on you because you're not supplying the goods. What are you saying to her? What's happening with the relationship?
I mean, yeah, like I just have to have a talk. It's like
just a talk and that's it.
I need to I need to clarify. It's like, did you do that because you needed it and I wasn't supplying it to you?
And she says yes. And she says yes. Yeah, what happens from that point?
Right. Well, then I need to think to myself. Okay, well, I kind of understand why they did that.
Right.
Is this something that I can actually supply? Is this something that
Well, how about her completely betraying you? Because you care about that and she knows you do. And then she had a rug out session.
I think if anything, they would have had to be like, okay, if you're not supplying me this thing, I'm gonna go and get, I'm gonna go look for my own rug. I'm gonna go find a rug and I'm gonna let them do that for me because you're not supplying it to me and I need this thing. I feel like that's something that they would need to do. If I'm not supplying it and they need it, they need to tell me, hey, if you don't do this, these are the consequences and whatever, and then we need to go from there.
Right,
if
okay.
They don't do that and they just go behind my back without establishing how serious it is and how, hey, you don't do this, I'm gonna go and fucking cheat on you. Then it's like, that's really fucked. If
That's fucked. But what you're saying? They cheat on you? What are you saying?
In that scenario where they don't make me, I don't understand the severity of the situation. They don't tell me that they're gonna.
Yeah, like how things normally go.
Right. Well, then it's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna break up with them.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. It's like if I talk to them and I feel like maybe they if they're sincere or maybe it's like I feel like I can start supplying that thing. But let's say that I'm not willing to supply it, and I think they're just gonna go and do it again because I know I'm not willing.
Right.
Then I'd have to break up with them because just for me personally, the thought of me being with somebody like that, having a partner like that, and then them just going out and getting fucked by another man, is like that's just too much for me. That's too much for me, right? Because it's just like we're supposed to be like in this thing together where it's like it's just me and you, there's nobody else involved, but then you're just going and getting somebody else involved behind my back. It's like that's just too much. It's a betrayal, and I can't do that. Like that would just make me feel so horrible.
Why would it make you feel horrible?
It just would. Like it just would, especially considering
That's
I've
circular
established that
reasoning.
that's not what I want.
Yeah, but why
Yeah,
is
no,
it?
I know it's not good reasoning. I mean, it's not, and I don't think most people could justify if they were in my position with this exact hypothetical. I don't think they could probably give good logical reasoning.
I wouldn't want somebody to be spending time on somebody else. I want your thoughts on me. That's how I would justify it. If I really gave a fuck, I don't know. I have no idea. If I really gave a fuck, it's hey, your thoughts need to be on me. I can't. First of all, the fact that you're going by to get set really, I know sex is serious, but it's also something so mundane. It's not, a life-threatening situation. It's just for you to go and get a rug out section, really? Yeah, and you're not saying it to me? It's different if you tell me. And the fact that you didn't trust me enough to tell me, I want somebody that you can transmit your thoughts and there is no shame. The fact that there is no shame. It's not the fact that, but for me, it's not really, I'm not really pressed about the fact that you fuck somebody else. It's the principle of that. And I think that's for anything that you're going behind my back and doing attention on whatever the fuck. Like, let's say you've got like a secret, let's say you have a hobby that you're embarrassed about. I feel I have the same indignation, but I don't have a particular indignation to to another man. Especially if you're like, all right, I've been fully protected, hazmat suited, there is not one drop of cum, I'm no STIs or whatever. I feel the same way as you, doing a secret hobby, or you spending time with people, you spending a lot of time with other people. That obviously that I'm thinking, where are you going? Like Tuesday to Thursday, you're just completely gone. Where are you? We're in a relationship. And you're not telling me.
I got like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Right.
So I wanted to say this, like, for me, it's like, adding on to what you said, it's like the two biggest things in a relationship, like for me, it's like it's trust, but not only trust, it's communication. And if you're not willing to communicate these things to me, whether it be about the hobby thing that you were talking about, or the fact that you need to just go and get you're desperately in need of this thing. If you can't communicate these things to me, then this is not a state, like this is not a healthy enough relationship to me.
100%, yeah.
I need you to communicate. If you have any worries about this relationship or just anything, I need you to be able to communicate them to me. And if you can't do that, then there needs to be a change.
Right,
whether
exactly.
that is breaking up or whether
it could be the problem with you, like I said, with the communication thing with your brother, where this guy, went behind his back. Maybe it was some people you just can't talk to because they rog the fuck out when you talk to them. They don't want to hear anything that they wouldn't like, and then they'll go, oh, if you just told me, really? If I just told you, you wouldn't have rogged the fuck out? I'm not even... On
the phone, he was rugging out. I heard him. I mean, to be fair, it's like he was there at our house for like 5 minutes after he found out that his dad had died. So I don't know. Maybe it's that influenced it. But he was definitely rugging out on the phone, and he put the phone down. They didn't really give him a chance to speak, and he did later on after he'd calmed down. He said he went on a drive, and then he gave him a chance to speak to him properly and let him understand why he did it. Let him speak about it, and they worked it out. But it's just kind of hard for me to like really tell you if that's what it is, because that's definitely a fucking chance. I will tell you right now, because like I've seen it happen, kind of. Like I've seen it happen where it's like sometimes it's really difficult to communicate with on like really sensitive topics because they'll just start rugging out, and it's like, okay, well that was kind of scary because this guy that's like 5'10", 5'11", who's like, he's like feared. Like people like fear him. People feared him back back in the day. It's like it's definitely understandable. This guy has a reputation, so I'm scared that this guy might try and rog out and try and get physical or something, or might start screaming at me. So I can understand that as well, being afraid to communicate it because you're scared of how they're going to react. That's another understandable thing.
So I don't like violent people because I'm opinionated and I don't do violence. I think that's That's
it's the equivalent of like ad hominems. Like if I'm sitting there, I'm trying to debate something, and you start trying to do personal insults that are just completely.
A successful person thinks for the future. That's why they're not on heroin or whatever. Heroin can get you elated, jubilated, but you're not gonna be jubilated for very long once you end up dying, or you're hooked on a drug that's now destroying all your relationships and all that. Yeah. Of course you're not going to be jubilated when that happens. And so they think long term. They're doing long term investments for their wealth in terms of what they're doing in their life. That they go university, they make long term investments for what they're gonna do in their life. It's not short term. They're not displaying their wealth openly. If you're wearing chains, or if you're wearing supreme, you'll never see a super wealthy person, especially over the age of 30. They're not wearing supreme. You don't see dads wearing supreme or whatever, like a successful dad. They're not wearing supreme. Maybe they have a nice car or whatever, but they're more modest with their wealth.
My dad actually refused to wear stuff that was like a name brand. Like, he wouldn't wear shit like that if it was like, if there was brands and shit on it.
100%.
Like, he didn't give a fuck. He would just wear whatever he wanted. When my brother would tell him, hey, I just bought this, you think it's nice? He's like, oh, how much was it? And it's like, oh, X amount of money. It's like, well, that's ridiculous. No, I don't think it's nice. I could go and buy that from Primark for £100 less, and it's just as good. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the type of... And I agree with him too. I don't like, wearing fucking... I don't like... The majority of my clothes are like, tracksuit, whatever. I mean... And
right, exactly. Yeah.
I don't like it. Like, I don't like wearing this shit. I mean, I'll ask you personally, because I know that you wear this shit. Do you actually enjoy wearing, like, Nike? I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know what you wear. But I'm assuming that you wear, like, tracksuit shit. Do you enjoy that?
I'm wearing sports things for the easeability and the cheapness of it. I'm not wearing it for a... It's called dressing for the occasion. Tracksuits, you're not wearing that to a restaurant. That's gauche behavior. You don't wear a tracksuit to a restaurant, because that's not what people expect you to be wearing. That confers a certain attitude about you and a lot of it's bullshit. This is a lot of social etiquette is bullshit. Knife and fork. So why can't I eat with 2 sticks between my fingers?
Yeah. I used to. Okay, so apparently most people have their knife in their right hand and
100%. Yeah.
I can't do that, and I don't do that. And my mom would be like, you're not eating the right way. Like, you're not supposed to eat like
that's
that.
bullshit, right? If you're doing 70% of what you need to do, you can't be going, oh, you need to be uncomfortable. And there's a certain point where, okay, don't walk in here with your fucking hands where you've been scratching your fucking bumhole with your right hand, and you're now eating fucking rice and ketchup and everything all on your that's fucking disgusting. Don't come here with holes all over with your cock out, hair with lice. There is a basic etiquette that you need to keep. But as long as you keep that basic etiquette and that you're respectable, then there is some leeway that you can be offered, of course. But for me, it's, dress for the occasion. There is no tracksuits to job interviews. There's no tracksuits to whatever. I'm dressing, I put a shirt on, I don't put a tie on because I'm not that try hard, but, shirt, like smart trousers. You got what you call shit flickers. That's what I'm wearing to a job interview. I'm Nike tracksuit to a job interview. That's fucking gauche behavior. But I like wearing my Nike tracksuits where I'm, going cycling, because that's just comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
100%, yeah.
But it's made for shit like that. It's sportswear. It's made.
100%, yeah.
Physical things. It's made for that occasion. You're not gonna be. No one's walking, going around, and it's like, right, I'm gonna go on my bike ride. Let me put on my suit and tie, my blazer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, it's not made.
Comfortable. I don't want to get my clothes dirty, my good clothes dirty.
Or like ripping. Like fucking up your nice clothes. It's not what it's.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Name. Yeah, go on. Alright, hold that thought. I need to drink.
Yeah, you gotta hurry. I don't have much time.
Okay. Okay. I'm in. Rug.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'll wear my Burgall sweater because I like wearing it. I think it actually just looks nice, and it's what I enjoy wearing, and it's not like I'm paying like stupid prices for it. So I'm gonna wear it and buy that shit, but I'm not wearing it because it's Burgall. It's like I think I told you. I remember being in college and I show up and it's really nice summer day. I show up in you know, shorts and a t-shirt.
Mm.
I have like some random non-branded socks on. This kid is like, what socks are those? Like, why are you wearing those?
What the fuck?
What? Yo, I'm wearing socks. Like, who gives a fuck? Do I have to be wearing Nike fucking boxers as well?
Man,
Is that what it's about?
That's
You know what I mean? It's like,
that's a lower class behavior. Yeah, that's
it's like my sunglasses aren't Gucci. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah, no,
My
that's
specs aren't £500. It's like, that's ridiculous.
yeah, no. You can smell the
Wrong
working
behavior.
class. That man, that's some working class Cody behavior.
Yeah.
Too many.
My brother actually mentioned something to me where it's like, you see all these people that, you know, your age is driving their BMWs and all their Mercedes, like, that's all on finance. They're just doing it because, oh, it's everyone, you know, it's a nice car. Everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, this guy's got a BMW. It's like, wow. I mean, sure, they're good. They're probably, you know, they're good. I don't know cars, but they're good cars and, you know, whatever. But they look nice and people think, oh shit, that's a nice fucking car. You know, that guy's like a baller. But he's like, they're all on finance. They don't have the money to buy that shit. They just want to look like they own it. These people going on their fucking nice holidays and shit. They can't afford that. They're wasting their money. But everyone thinks that they're, you know, doing great because they're going on. But give it, you know, a couple years, they'll have nothing because they're throwing it all away now. You know what I mean? And that's why I save my money. That's why I got a savings account, because it's just like, I don't need to be spending money. It's like, I can give myself £200 a month after I've helped my mum with the mortgage, and I will have money by the end of the month. It might not be a lot, but I'll still have money left after putting savings away and paying my keep. It's like, I don't need to run around spending all of my money. I have nothing to prove. I have nothing.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. It's that young. That's what I'm saying. Nobody above the age of 30 is wearing, you know, name. It's not like they're not wearing name brands, right? But a lot of it was also because influencer culture is like really prevalent. So people will get really warped ideas on how the world is. But you know, when you're going outside and you're going to, you know, you're around successful people, they're not rogging out on, you know, fucking, they haven't got golden grills, diamond grills, they haven't got Supreme t-shirt with like the most OP sneakers ever. No, that's low tier behavior. I know Naraj was really critical on. Man, he said the most racist he was watching Rogs collect sneakers. I think that's as I say, it's, you know, working class.
Tricky's does that. He's like a sneakerhead.
Right. I think a lot of that is what do you call it? Rog Cody behavior. Yeah.
Rug culture.
Yeah, and Cody culture is not super sneaker based, but it's also super caring about name brands. But it's all about proving something to other people. You know, look what I have that you don't have. Look how much money I spent on my clothes, because it confers some sort of status. Yeah, that's like flexing. Flex is that's Cody Rock behavior.
I don't give a fuck what you're flexing. I don't care if it's these crazy Supreme jumpers or if it's, you know, your car, whatever. It's like, don't do that. It's so weird.
Exactly. Yeah.
For other people, I used to like compare myself to people all the time because I was so insecure. But then I learned to just stop because it's so fucking unhealthy.
100%. Yeah, you'll get depressed.
My brother, he kind of does it in like more of a because he uses it as motivation. He uses it. It's like, okay, well, this guy is something better than me, so I need to work harder so I can be better than him. Because like he wants to be, you know, the best or whatever.
Yeah, but best of what though? That's the thing.
I was with him and he's wearing like, you know, New Balance shoes and shit, and he had like his little tracksuit on, and I'm like, man, you look like shit. Like what? They weren't even ironed. They were like quite creased.
Right. Okay.
Why are you walking around like that? Like what the fuck are you doing? And then he's like, well, he's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I feel like wearing this, I'll fucking wear it. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't give
100%, yeah.
And I respected that. I actually respected that he did that because I didn't think that he'd actually have that mindset. But I really respect it because that's what it's about. It's like, and that's why I respect him as well, because he's gay. He's laid that down to me.
He's gay?
Like,
you just said he's gay. What? I don't know that.
No, that's why I respect him, because he's laid these things down to me, right? Whereas like, oh, well, it's like, yeah, everyone might, you know, be wanting to prove themselves and prove that they're, you know, the big hard man, but give it a couple of years and they'll realize how fucking stupid it is, and they're not going to care.
100%, yeah.
That's exactly how he was. He was just like that. He wanted to be the biggest, baddest cunt around, and then he kind of was, and then he stopped caring once he had a child. It's like, wait, I need to stop giving a fuck about this bullshit stuff. Actually providing for my child and my girlfriend. So that's what he did. And then he told me, it's like, that shit doesn't mean a fucking thing.
100% it doesn't.
Nothing.
It's just an in the moment thing. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's
the people that are his age that are doing that now are bums. They're all fucking. They're all bums. They don't have anything in life. Financially, they're in debt and whatever. No one gives a fuck about them anymore. Their friends might have liked them back then because they were big and hard and that's what it was about. But now it doesn't mean a thing because you're 25 and you're in debt and you live in a council house and it's shit. Your life's shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know that whole.
But it's not even that.
Shit.
It's not even that. It's that. Yeah. No. Some people are, just they're doing fine. They're just no longer caring about flexing things because life you just realize that doesn't mean anything after so many years of thinking that mindset because you just gain perspective. Perspective is the thing. The thing is, what sucks for you is that you have you have an older mindset, but you're younger, so you're still gonna be around youths that think like that, and so you have to have a strong exterior and go, trust me, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm not gonna abide by your culture and laugh at that. What the you really care, flexing, money when that's not gonna. 6 months, that's not gonna. What you're wearing is not gonna matter. So I don't give a fuck.
Alright, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. But,
right. Okay. Yeah. Make sure they say thank you every time you ask for that receipt.
Oh yeah. No. I'll pressure them. Don't worry,
man. Yeah. Pressure them. What the fuck? You didn't even say thank you to me. I'm so offended. So rude.
I don't really give that much of a fuck, to be honest. And for me, because I've had rough times within the last couple of months. I'd go to work and I'd just be so monotone and I'd be saying, is that your fuel? Oh, okay, thank you, bye. That's the minimum. I put the minimum effort in, and then I realized once I started feeling better, it's like, okay, that guy who came in and he was being a cunt. But at the end of the day, I don't know what he's going through. He might be having a bad day, he might be having
100%, yeah.
So I'm not gonna judge him over that. That's what I learned.
That's more Rog and Cody behavior. When you see somebody road rage, that's cold. Because when I say it's cold.
I'm gonna hop on my phone.
Okay.
I'll join the call and I'll walk to work and I'll.
Right. Okay.
Do that. All right. I'll be.
They already know. They already steps ahead of you niggas to be like, yeah, I'm only fuck with black women. Trying to make sure I got myself a queen. Like, I'm a Pan-African. All right, well, let's see how many successful relationships you have as a Pan-Africanist. The last Pan-Africanist I seen was crying on Twitter about multiple black men not contacting him when his back was broken or he had back surgery. That's what Pan-African niggas do. They never happy. They always gonna be, at odds because you're probably not gonna find another bitch with beads in her hair that's super Afrocentric. You said that's why being a black man, a black Muslim is low-key a cheat code. The religion saves the wrong stereotype. You mean a short black man? I would just laugh at her. I'd be like, well, you killed that version of Legacy. I mean, it's dead anyway, but all right. Well, y'all niggas have a good one. I'm about to go hit the gym. I'm out. You say you don't understand when you say you wouldn't date a black chick, but also say not all blacks are rogues. Because I don't want to fuck nobody that's reminiscent to my family members. Does that answer your question? If I'm a black guy, it's boring to fuck black chicks. If I'm an Asian guy, it's boring to fuck Asian chicks. If I'm a white guy, it's boring to fuck white women. Like, I don't want to fuck chicks with the same goddamn traits and credentials as my family members. The fuck? Unless you super light-skinned or biracial, it would be completely out of the question. I've been that way since I was like in the third grade. I've only been attracted to light-skinned women and biracial chicks since the third grade. Matter of fact, let's dial it back. Second grade. I never forget in second grade, it was this light-skinned girl with curly hair named Ebony. Everybody thought she was fire. She was the door monitor. I still remember how she looks in my mind to this day. Excellent light skin features, hair down her motherfucking back, curly as fuck. Bro, I always liked light skinned girls and mixed girls ever since I was a child. It don't change as an adult. Don't shit change. Look, any fucking girl I'm dealing with, right? If their parents are questioning who I am, I said, man, just check out the Instagram. I'm a different type of guy. Don't worry, I'm not a typical nigga. You said, does it not offend me? Hell no, nigga. The fuck? I wasn't raised in an era of racism.
All right. The problem with Cody's and Rogs is that there's no long-term thinking. That's why they're thinking about all this fashion or whatever, trying to impress, other people that are not going to care in a year. That's not long-term. Successful people are about long-term investments. Oh, what university did you go to? What degree do you have? Because that confers, okay, well, if you have a degree, okay, now you're going to be able to demand higher wages because you have skills. You're going to go into a skillful job. That's what's respectful, in successful people's line of business. If you look at your inventory and all you've got is a Supreme hoodie or whatever, but that's it. That's all you've got as a person. What the fuck is that? That doesn't mean anything. It's just outside exterior. That doesn't mean anything. And yeah. I say it all comes back to short-term thinking. The people that get violent, the people that road rage and start screaming at people, those are people that are not thinking ahead and think they have nothing to lose, and that's why they're doing wrong behavior. And then once you go to, once you have a criminal record, once you've interrupted everyone, once everyone around you that has long-term thinking around them doesn't want to hang out with, short-term behavior, people that are disrupting everything for the long term, yeah, okay. Maybe they'll start to realize, fuck, maybe I can't be acting like this. Maybe I can't be doing all this, Cody Rob behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, too many. What'd you say?
Really nice today.
Yeah, no, it's been paying for weeks now.
Really cold, to be honest. We had one really nice day. It was like 18 degrees or something.
Oh yeah.
Ever since that day, it's been really cold.
That's so interesting. It's completely the opposite here, where we had one really cold day and it's been warm. Yeah, that's the south for you. That's how it works down there. It's always warm. That's what I'm saying. It's always sunny. It's always warm. It's beautiful out. Apart from the winter. The winter was so bad this year. So overcast.
Yeah.
One week of overcast days in January, I couldn't even handle it. It was so bad. I hate not seeing the sun.
Yeah, honestly, I need to start going on my bike again. It just been sat there in my garage. If the weather stays like this, I should. But yeah, like I remember when we used to go down Cornwall. It was always so nice. I mean, sure, we did go down, June, July, August, summertime, but
what, Cornwall?
Really nice. Yeah, Cornwall. It's really nice down there.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the go-to. We don't want to go abroad, or we don't really have the money to go abroad. We go Cornwall.
Mm-hmm.
Take the car down.
Yeah, I like the sun way more than the cold or the what do you call it? Just the winter in general. I think it's just dog shit. Gets really dark really early. I'm tired of that. That's super shit to me.
Yeah, like for me, because I do enjoy. I enjoy the dark, I enjoy the night time. I actually do like it, but that's because I don't obviously really go outside much. And if I were going outside much, if I'm going on a bike ride at least, then I definitely want it to be sunny, nice, warm, bright, with the sun out. But if I was going out on my bike, like when I go and walk, I like it being 2 in the morning, dark, quiet, a bit like that. Yeah, if I was going on my bike, 100%, I'd want it to be sunny. A day like this, really, really nice, pretty warm. A little bit windy, but pretty nice. right when I'm at the SO, I'm at the BP right now.
Really? It's that quick?
Yeah, it's like a 5 minute walk.
What the fuck?
I'm really lucky actually.
So is this a good time to work? In terms of customers?
I mean, it's really busy.
Oh, okay. Is that good or bad? Do you like the night walkers or the daymen?
I like it being less busy, but throughout the day you don't really get any problems with anyone. Obviously on the night time you get a lot more problems.
Really? What are the problems you face so far?
Just people talking to you, you know, that kind of like shit, and all the alcoholics and shit. So
Oh, that's nasty. This is what I'm saying. Alcohol needs to be shamed way more, because the fact that you can sort of walk somewhere and you're very happy to be out and you know, a drunk cunt acting, you know, inebriated, stumbling, not talking properly. No, that's nasty behavior. That's Cody Rog behavior. You know, the way the way, you know, super successful. Oh, okay. You know, you have fun 8 hours or however long you're gonna work today.
Resolution bill. Remember before how we said that Congress technically, although they probably wouldn't get the majority to do it, they could technically vote to rescind certain declarations of emergency that are giving Trump the power to do the things that he's doing with the tariffs. Supposedly the CR thing. Oh wait. Oh no, it's not this. This might be a bad thing too. But supposedly in this continuing resolution, they literally have it as part of it that Congress can no longer vote against